The cliffhanger in this chapter was so fucking mouth dropping. I was like, did they really just do that? Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Shinry, here at the Everything Anime Podcast, talking about from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, everything on the topic of talking about. Today's video is on Dr. Stone, chapter 158 to 159, titled Bang Bang. This was pretty good. And I think it's good because I think this is one of the chapters I had jumped ahead to and spoiled for myself way before I got here. So let me explain. When I was reading Dr. Stone, I was somewhere in the Medusa weapon, the Petrification Kingdom arc, and I had just wanted to see, like, I think I said like 165. I was like just curious about like it's something related to this chapter. I know for sure. It might have been this number, but I was just curious about like something like where is this gonna go? Like when do we get to the moon and all that? And I had saw this ending shot where Senku gets shot, and I was like, oh shit. And I had went back and I was like, what the fuck, why do people out there in space? And I was thinking I was looking at specifically Dr. Zeno because he looks like he was on, it looked like we were on the moon because like he looked like he was in space, but I think I had been misremembering that because I definitely go past 165 for sure. But anyways, that's just my little rant in the beginning of this video. But as the chapter opens up, from what we previously know, Senku and Dr. Zeno were like mentor and mentee for a very long time. They had a relationship through like pen pals. Then they actually about like rockets and love of science, where Zeno wanted to be the kind of scientist that dictated people that were stupider than him, that he deemed people that didn't love science over dumber than him. They're like, yeah, you guys, you're gonna be beneath me. I'm gonna be the ruler of the world. You're gonna fall under me. And then Senku, his love of science is like, I just want to see how something's built, take it apart, put it back together in myself, and then teach others to do it. But even though they had these drastically different ideals and ideologies, they stayed in contact, and they even met each other. They stood side by side staring up at this rocket, and neither one of them looked at each other, and neither one of them said a thing to each other. They were just sharing the same respect that they have and love for science. And we know Senku's not the emotional, sentimental type, and Dr. Zeno is clearly not that either, so they just both stood in respect, and they went their separate ways. Knowing that they had met, knowing that they, like, they're on, like, equal footing in a way. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. Again, I also love that Senku and Zeno, they woke up at the same time. They both stayed awake for 3,700 years. Senku was counting numbers. I'm not sure what Dr. Zeno was doing, but it's just really cool. And we also learned that Dr. Zeno obtained platanium or platinum. I'm not sure how you guys say it. I'm saying platanium. Every time I say platanium, it makes me think of like Stewie from Family Guy, but that's just the way it sounds in my head, but it might be platinum. But I want to say platanium. Dr. Zeno obtained platanium almost immediately from a ring from one of his subordinates named Luna, because she wore it before they were petrified. Or one of her subordinates had saved Luna's ring before she was petrified. I think it was like Max or Carlos. They like swallowed her ring, and her ring was made of platanium. I think it's like because like they're both in love with Luna. They want to do anything for Luna, and Luna had that ring for some reason. Not that she was married. I forgot why she had it. But she had a ring, and that's how Zeno had got his hands on platanium before Senku did. With that one bit of platanium, though, they immediately built their Kingdom of Science, which is crazy. But we've seen what Senku said he could do with just a little bit of platanium. Like he said, and we got a lot thanks to Byakuya in that previous chapter where Byakuya died and gathered all that platanium for Senku. So, and that's how we got as much revival fluid as we have now. Yes, it takes time to like create that much revival fluid to like bring back all of humanity, and it took several weeks or maybe a month to bring back even all the people on the petrification island, or treasure island as they called it. But if we can get Zeno's lab, his factory, we can build that limited survival fluid like way faster. We can also see that immediately after Zeno felt like he had already had his wish fulfilled, he was ready to take over the world. And that is like Senku and Taiju, except, it's mirror Senku and Taiju because like Senku woke up first, and the first thing he did was wake up his best friend, Taiju. And then the first thing Dr. Zeno did was he woke up Stanley Snyder. So that's what I'm saying. You're seeing like a mirror effect between Senku and Dr. Zeno. But Dr. Zeno was like, oh, the world's reset itself. I'm the only scientist that's been revived. I'm the smartest man on the planet. I'm the smartest man in the world. We knew how to survive this. And Senku did as well, but he didn't know that Senku's out there and survived. If he did, he'd know, like, or if he believed in Senku. Let me get my drink, sorry. My tongue was getting dry. If he did, though, he would know that Senku was out there, also arrived. But this is what Dr. Zeno wanted. He wanted to become the scientist that could basically take over the world, be a dictator, the smartest man in the world. Back in present day, Taiju appeared back on the ship with Senku, and Luna is working up the courage to point at him because, again, she doesn't want to kill anybody. She's the only one in the North American science team that we've seen so far that is reluctant to kill someone. And the whole thing was about getting Taiju on the deck. It's because Zeno believes that Taiju is a scientist. He doesn't know that Senku's there. If he knew Senku was there, he would know that Senku's the real scientist and that Gen and Senku are playing a ploy on him. But because he believes that Taiju, and he hasn't seen Senku, because he believes Taiju is a scientist, he's like, all right, Stanley Snyder, take out their scientists. They'll be weak. We can take them over. Because, again, Dr. Zeno is a dictator. This is what he wants. He doesn't want someone else to challenge him. And Stanley Snyder's like, well, I'm military. I'm used to killing people, and you're my best friend, so you want it done, it'll be done. So all Zeno has to do is point, and then Stanley Snyder's going to, snipe him from a distance. However, she can't at first, and I'm proud of that. Like, she's very reluctant to do it. I was literally clapping on the plane like, good for you, Luna. I'm so glad you're not a psychotic killer like your colleagues. Like, they are obviously psychotic. She does, however, alert them of the name Senku, and I knew this would turn the tides of Dr. Taiju to Dr. Stone. Like, obviously, I don't know why I forgot how she learned Senku's name. Maybe Taiju was talking to him, and he had said Senku, and then maybe she has an earpiece on it, and I think Dr. Zeno overheard that. And because either way, once Dr. Zeno hears about this, the information is relayed to Stanley Snyder, who then tells it to Dr. Zeno. And then somehow to lure Senku, then somehow he tries to get Senku to be lured away from the rest of the group to get his kill shot. Like, he's not trying to kill everybody on the ship. He could, but he's specifically just like, okay, I'll take out Senku. That's who Dr. Zeno wants me to take out. I'm going to kill him. And before Stanley can get almost a clean shot on Taiju, that is this is because Zeno had overheard that Senku was on the ship. Stanley Snyder had actually almost got a clean shot on Taiju. He's about to take him out. And then Dr. Zeno's like, wait, hold up. They're playing us coy. That's not Taiju is not the doctor. It's Senku. And he tells him that his true target specifically is Senku Ishigami. And at the same time, Ryusei senses something out there, and he's like, sniper! And he's like warning everybody on the ship. So it's so crazy. Like, there's two things happening at once. You got Dr. Zeno hearing confirmation that Senku is on the ship, and he knows that Senku Ishigami is the scientist, because he knows, like, if I survived, of course Senku had to survive. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I knew. I was thinking in my head. And then Stanley Snyder's like, okay, I don't know who Senku is. You got to describe it to me. But, okay, I almost had to shot on Taiju. I would have took him out. And the mission, it would have been bad because we don't lose Taiju or Senku, but it would have been worse because, Taiju's not the doctor, and obviously Senku would have retaliated in some kind of way. But Ryusei, being that pilot, having that sixth sense or whatever he has, he knew that there was somebody out there. He's like, hey, guys, sniper, get down. Back in Zeno's base, we see he does a similar pose to Senku when he's thinking. I think it's like a cross like this over his eyes. I don't know. It's something like that, like where he has like X over his eyes, where Senku does like that. And he crosses his fingers over his eye. I find that very creative and clever because Senku gives me like a Naruto sign when he's thinking, something like that. Or, like Shikamaru does that. So, I don't know, maybe that's like a Japanese thing where like they have like these poses where they go into thinking mode. Very cool. I only thought about Shikamaru right now too. I didn't even think about that whenever Senku was doing the poses, or Zeno. So that's kind of cool. Maybe, is that a Japanese thing? Can somebody tell me in the comments if like in Japanese, like when you're thinking really hard, or like maybe it's like a pose that people do when they're like trying to brainstorm. Thankfully, though, Ryusei does call out a sniper, and everyone is scrambling for cover just as Stanley Snyder gets information about Senku, enough to seek him out. Like, he's like, I think Dr. Zeno describes Senku to a T. He's like green hair, spiky, yada yada yada, skinny, not muscular. And Stanley says, "Oh, I found him, got him." And he's about to take a shot, but everybody scrambles. However, he does find Senku fast, and because everyone is running for cover, he knew the scientists would be seeking him out. So Senku, like, at the same time, Stanley Snyder locks onto Senku. Senku's like, okay, they know that I have to be the scientist. I don't know how Senku knew that, but he knew he was going to be targeted. And also, the fear in Senku's face is palpable. He immediately runs and seeks cover. Like, I love how the author in Tokyo Ghoul draws the horror aspect, and I love how beautifully things are drawn in Dr. Stone, especially like seeing a panic in Senku. We've never seen Senku panic like this. Senku was calm when Tsukasa was going to kill him. Yes, Senku knew he had a plan. He had that rock on his back, and that would revive him with some miracle fluid. But Senku's always been calm in every situation. Even when facing Irabara, he was pretending like he was afraid. Senku had everything in control the entire time. So this is the first time Senku's like, okay, this is out of my control. I did not expect Dr. Zeno to be out there, and I did not expect Stanley Snyder to try to snipe us. But unfortunately, now that Stanley Snyder knows who he is, he's got a lock on him. He messages back to Dr. Zeno, are you sure you want him dead? Are you 100% positive? Because he might know, because Stanley Snyder and Zeno are best friends, he might know about their prior relationship, the mentoree. And I'm like, didn't you shoot first and ask questions later the first time you met them? And I was like, well, it's interesting that Stanley seemed like he was hesitating for a second. Maybe because he was like, Zeno, are you gonna regret this later? This is a scientist. This is your trainee. This is your student right here. Are you sure? Maybe that's why. Because I was about to say, Stanley Snyder, you sniped at us the first time we saw it. And these are kids. Even if you thought they were from strangers or coming to steal your corn or gonna take your factory, these are actual high school students, kids, and you try to kill them. So I'm surprised he showed a little bit of restraint. But Zeno wants to team up. With Senku and rule the world together as an unstoppable force. But he knows Senku's not like him at all. Again, Senku told him, like, I don't care about ruling the world or becoming the smartest man and ruling over the masses. I just want to build things, take it apart, and find out how it works and teach others how to do that. And Zeno's like, oh yeah, we're not gonna be on the same page, despite loving his Senku's mind and the friendship they had and the love of science. He wants him eliminated immediately because he knows Senku is also the only one that can stop him. He's like, I'm gonna regret this. This hurts me more than it hurts you, Senku. Stanley, kill him. It's the way that villains be doing that. They be like, when a villain's trying to justify killing their best friend or what they think is like noble, they're like, man, I wish you didn't have to die. And then they try to shoot you anyway. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of some examples. There's a ton of stories that do stuff like that. So I don't feel like I need to give an example, but there's a ton of stories like that. But one's just not coming up top of my head right now. But oh my God, why am I so thirsty? I got cotton mouth or something. But yeah, Zeno, he's like, I wish we could rule the world together, but Senku, you're just going to get in my way. Oh, well. And thus the bullet fires. And this, once again, incredible breathtaking shot. I mean, you can feel the force of it through the pages. Again, the author of Dr. Stone and Tokyo Ghoul, the way they draw things, it's so cinematic. And you I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a flip-o-rama, because obviously the pages are moving, but you can still see it like as if it was actually happening. Very cool. Make sure I show that off for you guys. Senku quickly tries to make a bulletproof vest to protect himself. He puts all this sand in a bag and tries to shield his chest with it. And the final panel is what it seems like Senku got shot. He got shot several times, and either the sandbags worked or they didn't work as a bulletproof vest. And that was just so mouth-dropping, so shocking, so what the fuck's gonna happen next? I immediately stopped the chapter. I was like, I have to talk about this. So that's actually where I ended off in my video. Speculation, I had none at this point. I am a little bit further ahead, maybe 2-3 more chapters ahead of this. But yeah, I just had no speculation. I was just hoping Senku was gonna survive. Because Senku can't die here, obviously. The story's about him, but Zeno, you know Zeno's out to kill you now. You know you can't trust Zeno. He's just like Erebara. We're gonna have to petrify him and turn him to stone or whatever. I don't know what we're gonna do. We got to stop him. But at the same time, we might need him because he's a scientist for NASA. So it's still a race against time. Are we gonna capture Dr. Zeno before he kills Senku, or is Senku gonna be killed before we capture Dr. Zeno? All I can say is we'll find out together. Anyways, guys, talk to you guys in the next video. See you later. Bye. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are 2. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament. And the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red will Reign Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So, if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.